Hello everybody. During this video I'd like to discuss how to build a major scale on the bass guitar. In one of the previous videos I recorded, I discussed how to play a chromatic scale on the bass, and kind of the concept behind that is then you could learn all the letter names of the notes on the bass on each of the strings. And once you get all the notes of the bass learned, then I discussed half steps and whole steps. And so you understand how to build a half step, create a half step, and create a whole step on the bass. From those two pieces of knowledge, now major scales can be built all over the bass. And there is a formula for a major scale. And what we'll do today is start with the letter C. That's one of the most common scales to start with, simply because there's no sharps or flats in that scale. So we'll consider all these notes natural notes. So what I'll do is I'll start C, which is 3rd fret on the A string, and just as in one of my videos with the chromatic scale, I went up the E string by itself, and that's what the same thing I'm going to do on the A string. I'm going to play on the A string, 3rd fret, that's letter C, and I'm going to build a major scale up that single string, and I will list the order of whole steps and half steps, which builds a major scale. So 3rd fret on the A string is our tonic note or fundamental note. There's different terms different people use. So that's our starting note, C. Whole step. So remember, whole step, there's a note in between, so we'll go 3rd fret to 5th fret. And then we go another whole step, which will be 5th fret to 7th fret. Then now we'll go half step, which is 7th fret to 8th fret. Whole step, 8 to 10. Another whole step, which will be 10 to 12. Another whole step, which will be 12 to 14. And then to finish off the scale, we play another half step, which is 14 to 15. And that finishes off the major scale. So we have a target note, a whole step, another whole step, and a half step. Whole step, whole step, whole step, and then another half step to finish off the scale. And then going down, target note, down a half, down a whole, down a whole, down a whole step, half step down, whole step, and then whole step. So really think of the formula ascending and then descending as well. So that formula will work anywhere on the bass. So if you have a knowledge of your chromatic scale, or you have a knowledge of building half steps and whole steps on the bass, if you memorize that formula, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, then you can pick any note on the bass. You don't even have to know the letter name. I'll pick this note right here. Let's pick, let's do a different note. It's the same note. Right here. So then I'll go, there's our target note. Whole step, half, whole, whole, whole step, and half. And I can play that in different places. So that leads me to the next part of this. When you do get a knowledge of where those whole steps and half steps occur, you can play that same scale. Let's go back to the first one, the C scale. You can use different finger patterns, different rhythms, just to get to know the letter names. Okay, I'm going to play that scale different place on the bass. So whole step, half, whole, Now I'm going to go another whole step, but instead of going here like I did previously, I want to reach back here, because 10th fret on the A to 7th fret on the D, that's another whole step. And where am I in the formula? Okay, whole step, half, whole, whole. I know I have another whole step, and then another half step. Finishes out the scale. And then descend. Alright. I can play that scale right there. Right here. How about target note? Whole step, half, whole, half. We can do that there. Or you could use open strings. C, whole step, whole, half, whole, half. Then descend. You could use one pattern going up, another pattern coming down. And remember, these can apply to all notes on the bass. So when that formula gets, you get familiar with that, then you can apply it to all different areas of the bass. So I'll just do C scale up there, up here. So I know that formula. You can do it in different places up there as well. Then the next step, or you can do this in any different order, is to think of the letter names. So you got C, is your target note, whole step, okay, and from those previous exercises, you know that 5th fret is D on the A string. Another whole step, okay, well, you know from figuring out those chromatic scales that 7th fret on the A string is E, 8th fret is F, another whole step in the formula, 10th fret is G, another whole step, 12th fret is A, whole step, 14th fret is B, and then half step. That's 15th fret is letter C. So from using the formula to figure out the notes of the scale first, the pitches, then you can go back and figure, okay, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Then again, you can play those in different orders. And then it's always good to try and go, or to learn how to play 2 octaves. There are just as many places on the bass as you can go. And you don't necessarily have to begin on a C and end on a C, but that's a good place to start, because that gives you gives that sound in the ear, and you can hear it resolve. Back down. So remember the major scale formula. You pick a note anywhere. Since we've been using C the whole time for this particular exercise, your target note, whole step, half, whole, and half. And always think of it in descending order as well. Target note, root note, tonic note, again, different names for the same thing. Down a half, down a whole, down a half, whole. So I hope this helps out, and apply that formula to every note on the bass, and you will figure out all of your major scales. Until next time,